And we are live.
Hello.
How we going? Right. So, this week hasn't been really a lot to talk about, but I think we could probably get our muggle of the week out of the week this week. I normally do this on my own just so it surprises you. I like to surprise you, Vesp. I like to surprise you with all sorts of, different things.
Okay.
But our muggle for the week is Todd Howard. Because apparently, right, they were apparently ready for the reception that they were going to be copying for Fallout 76. Well, then why the fuck did you bring out the game the way you did?
Money.
Oh my god, like, Bethesda's their own company. They don't have any other fucking subsidiaries or anything like that that's forcing them to bring out a game too early. Right? And this is why. And it's kind of stupid, and that would be our segue to straight away to our first article this week. And that is, where is it? With the Bethesda, as it was ready for a rough reception. Link in the chat. Okay, I'll bring it up on the stream. All good. Alrighty. So, yes, Bethesda. Oh, what the fuck? Bethesda was ready for Fallout 76 rough reception, says Todd Howard. Bethesda director Todd Howard has said that the studio expected a rough reception for Fallout 76, and that he thinks the online RPG has somewhat damaged the developer's reputation. No shit?
Yeah, like, come on, like, if you knew it was going to be shit, why release it?
Yeah? Like, why? Apart from money, but then again, you could have stopped this bad reception by just turning it on its head and fixing it. Like, I will accept and agree that the huge majority of people out there do not like Fallout 76. I personally enjoy Fallout 76, but I do see why people have problems with it, and I do see why people are complaining about it. Anyway, to continue quickly on with what he said. We knew we were going to have a lot of bumps, he said, when asked by IGN whether Bethesda was prepared for the negative reaction. We were ready for what we knew. This is not the type of game that people were used to from us, and we're going to we're going to get some criticism. And a lot of that is very well deserved. No shit. So the thing is that I don't personally think it's the fact that it's something different. I just think a lot of people were expecting a lot more. And what I mean by a lot more, I mean like a fuck ton more. Which doesn't get me. Because see, for me, like it just seems like the game has a lot of content. But the one thing that I have to say, which I have a problem with, is that like the big sort of like main final boss in Fallout 76, right? The big boss that was supposed to be in it had like the loot drops were fucking shit.
Were they?
Well, they were, yeah. They weren't. It's just like same common fucking items you'll get from other freaking monsters and stuff. So I personally think it was just kind of stupid and shit. Anyway, so I thought I'd quickly go into why Todd Howard was our muggle for the week this week, because that's just something stupid. If you and moral of the story is, if you know that the game's not ready, you know the game's not fucking polished enough, you know the game's gonna be just trashed by critics, right? And it's gonna damage your company's reception. Then don't release it, especially if you're a company like Bethesda that, you know, again doesn't really have a big corporate overlord watching over them like Activision or something. Which, in my honest opinion, I think is kind of silly and stupid. But anyway, we'll go into this week some of the other stuff that's been talked about this week. Apparently, Netflix Witcher series has finished production.
That's good.
Yeah, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Honestly, I'm a big fan of the Witcher series. I'm a big fan of just the games in general and the whole world and franchise alone. I'm curious to see what direction they will go with the series, because apparently it's supposed to be based around the third game, apparently, which I'm kind of not okay with. I kind of wanted them to do something like first game, like something around like the first book, but I'm happy that we're getting a series as it is, because I think the Witcher series does deserve, to be adapted to television. But I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, why don't you make a movie like something like Lord of the Rings or something?" Like, nah. Like the thing is, I think when it comes to video games, and as I've said that from the start, I think video games are suited more for TV shows. Because TV shows, you've got a season of character development, you've got a season of world building and stuff like that. And I think personally, where a lot of companies are getting wrong with a lot of video game adaptations is putting them into movies, not TV shows.
Yeah.
Like they want to do a Mass Effect movie, which again, I personally think that it should be a TV show, like along the lines a bit like Star Trek, and make a story of them, like how humanity first discovered and sort of created the Mass Effect relays, which I think would have been really, really cool to sort of explore and have them meet these new the Krogans and the Geth and stuff like that, for the first time. And I reckon it would have been really like a really cool show. But yeah, they don't want to do something like that, I suppose. And then Netflix ain't done there. Apparently, Netflix are also doing an animated Magic the Gathering TV show as well. Do you know about that?
No.
No?
No. Netflix is just sticking its dick in everything at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, see, because apparently they're supposed to be also be getting Evangelion as well, Netflix. So apparently they've redubbed everything as well, which a lot of people are aren't very happy with. Apparently, apparently they're not very happy with how they're handling that.
For fuck's sakes, people like me can't actually read the subtitles because they're too quickly, and my dyslexia kicks in.
No.
No.
They're redoing the English dub. Like that. Evangelion's already got an English dub, but they're redoing it entirely for no reason whatsoever.
Okay.
Like I don't know why you wouldn't just keep the original dub and just leave it there. But apparently they're supposed to be also doing another Evangelion, I think, anime, or they might be doing another movie. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'll have to look into that more. But I'm interested to see where the Magic the Gathering animated series will go. I don't know how they'd probably do it, but I guess they could probably do something along the lines of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I think it'd be probably shit. I'm not too keen on it. I'll say that much, especially if it's a I think if Japan, like they got a Japanese company to do it, I think it'd be fine. But if they had but if they got like an American company to do it, I don't have high hopes, like by any stretch of the imagination, at all. Which well, I guess we'll see where things go with that, I suppose. Those are the sort of like smaller articles that we could talk about this week. One thing is though, also too, we were talking about last week as well, when it came to Call of Duty, that we're waiting for the announcement for COD.
Yeah.
As it was out the next day. Did you see what it was? What the new one is?
Yeah, it's a reimagining of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I'm very, very pumped with it. There's been a lot of backlash, and there's actually been a lot of people wanting it to be censored as well.
Why?
Because a couple of games journalists were able to see a couple of missions, right? It is apparently there are missions in there that are apparently worse than No Russian. I'm like,
Russian caused no issues.
like, don't be wrong, it was at a very like no, the mission No Russian was very sort of confronting, and it was very like in your face. It was like, oh fuck, that was a bit full on. But you know, if you when you played it, it shows, you know, it helped with the story, and it helped sort of explain how bad and how menacing and how evil the bad guy was, you know, and that was what made me hate Makarov so much in the game, was because of how horrid he was and how menacing he was, and like that scene was the thing that pushed me over the edge with the character. And that was the scene that made me hate and made me want to, you know, fight through these 3 games and get to the final game and kill him. It was great. Apparently there was a scene, there's a scene in the new game where you're storming into a building and you kick open a door, and a woman with a bomb strapped to her or something like that grabs it and also has a baby covering it like as a shield. And you're forced to obviously shoot the mother, really.
Fucking awesome. Okay.
Like, but the thing is, though, is that that's realistic. It's like, I know it's horrible, but the thing is that the reason why a lot of people gravitated to the Modern Warfare series and loved the Modern Warfare series so much was the simple fact that it was realistic and it had some realistic moments, you know? And this is very grounded in reality when it comes to, you know, modern combat. You know, and what real soldiers witness and see on a daily basis. It's not like, you know, glitz and glamour, but it's horrible. You know, and the thing is that this is what we want. This is what Call of Duty fans want to see. And from what I've seen and what I've heard, this Call of Duty game has gone on a massive 180 and doing something completely different to what they usually do.
See, the thing is, right, people forget that we come from a species which used to have the Colosseums.
True.
like
for me, I quite am looking forward to it. Like, after some of the stuff that I've seen and some of the things I've read and some of the things I've heard, I honestly think that this is going to actually be probably one of the better Call of Duties you've seen in the last while. I honestly think, and I think it's going to be a very sort of straightforward and a very serious story, which I'm very much looking forward to. I don't like the change in look of Price. I think it's a little...
He looks so...
He looks so young. In my honest opinion. Like, he looks just so young. So I'm interested to see where they'll actually go with the story. I think personally the story will probably be pretty decent and pretty good, but I guess it'll be something that we'll have to definitely keep an eye on. And apparently we're supposed to be seeing some more gameplay footage, some more trailers and stuff at E3 next week, which is going to be interesting to sit down and have a proper look at. And yeah, and E3 is also another thing that we'll discuss at the end of the podcast as well, because seeing as though we're doing a big special sort of thing, so we'll discuss that at the end of the podcast. But what are your thoughts anyway on what you've sort of heard about the new Call of Duty anyway?
Well, if it's going to be anything like the original Modern Warfare, it might be a Call of Duty I buy for the first time in.
Well, from what I've heard, if they don't listen to the people that are complaining, which is the very, very small minority, right? And they actually listen to the fans. They actually sit down and they say, look, we have all of our fans that turn around and said they want this. They want this type of gameplay. They want this sort of storytelling, right? Then I'm sorry, but I'm sorry to those of that minority, but I'm pre-ordering. That's actually something I might consider pre-ordering, even though I don't recommend pre-ordering. Like, I'm a dum-dum that likes to sit there and spend my money before the game even comes out. I'm a dum-dum. Don't listen to me.
Yeah,
But
but we live in a country where we can just walk into EB Games and cancel the pre-order,
well, that's true.
and get all our money back. Not, we don't suffer a loss like America.
Well, no, America has to have some sort of refund system too, but it's nothing like us where we have a very strict refund policy, which I'm very happy about. Like, and the thing is, like, Steam didn't get their act together till the Australian government turned around and said, "Hey, you don't have a refund policy. You need to put one in." And it's like, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with refunds. I'm good with refund policies. But yeah, no, I'm very much looking forward to seeing more. Hopefully next week. But yeah, so as I said, it is a game that fans are wanting, fans are actually begging for, fans are actually wanting this gameplay and this sort of storytelling, and we do kind of miss it. We've all missed it, and the thing is, like, it's going to be a breath of fresh air from some of the other shit we've gotten from Activision in the last, couple of years, which hasn't been, well, great to say the least. It's all been fucking, oh, we've got to appeal to the young little children, even though the game is rated for friggin' people over 15 years and older. But, we're going to appeal to the little kiddies so they can have the unicorn skins and this and that. And it's just, fuck off. It's not Call of Duty. It's not the Call of Duty I remember, and it's good to see that they're coming back to it. But, yeah, so another thing that was announced this week is apparently Shenmue 3 has been delayed. Again. This is like the third time it's been delayed, and a lot of people have sort of getting a little cranky about it. Which I don't mind, because the Kickstarter said that it was going to have this release date, and then they pushed it back, and they pushed it back again, and then this is the third time they've pushed it back. So I personally don't know what's actually going on with the game. I just they keep saying that it's almost ready. They keep saying it's ready to be come out. They just want to finish some minor details and stuff like that because they want the game to come out complete and as bug free as they possibly can. But then again, what game these days comes out that's bug free these days?
Yeah.
It's never the case anymore, and it kind of sucks dick. But anyway, another thing too that was talked about as well when it comes back to Bethesda and why Todd Howard is our muggle for the week. Apparently, the people that have put in tickets to get their collector's edition bloody bags for their helmet, haven't apparently it's supposed to be they're supposed to be getting them back next week after them being delayed twice, right? And they haven't heard a single fucking word, apparently, and it's supposed to be dropping next week. None of them have got emails or even any updates on where the progression's going with the bags and stuff like that, and they're still not turning up. I found out from a guy I watch on YouTube called Yong Ye. I think do you watch him?
Nope.
He's not a bad YouTuber. He does a lot of gaming news as well on YouTube, and he was one of the ones that were affected by the bags. So he's come out and sort of said that it's been a week and no one's heard anything. And the last time anyone's heard anything was a delay, and that was like 3 months ago. So, it's now coming to the point now where he said that it's come to that cut-off point, and no one, Bethesda hasn't reached out to say that it's going to be delayed again, or how far along it's going to be, when they're going to be delivered, or anything like that at all. But a lot of people are gearing up and getting ready to have a backlash if they're not sent off on the final date, or even had any sort of response from Bethesda, which I don't blame them. Because at the moment, Bethesda's just slowly digging themselves a bigger and bigger fucking hole. And I'm going to be interested to see what their conference is going to be like on next week, because I honestly think it's not going to be very good in a lot of ways. I think a lot of people that are going to be at the conference are going to be sitting there with frowns on their face, and they're going to be sitting there with their hands crossed and going to be like, yeah, whatever you're going to be announced, we're going to be very fucking skeptical. Which I don't blame anybody that's going to sit down and do that.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, Bethesda's just dug themselves a fucking huge hole, and they're trying to dig themselves out, and all they're doing is digging the hole bigger. So, hopefully, something will come to light with that, and hopefully something will be fixed and sorted out with that. Another thing that's also been announced this week has been Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yes, apparently it's going to be based in London, which is, I think, a little different, in my honest opinion, because, like, again, seeing as though, like, I've never... how many times has Ubisoft done games in London? I know they've done the Assassin's Creed game, which I'm trying to remember was Syndicate?
It was Syndicate.
Syndicate, yeah. And this would be interesting to see how they'll go with like a more modern day London setting, which I think it might be pretty interesting. I don't know whether they're going to be keeping the same characters or not from the last game, or they're going to be doing what they did with the first game, which was just scrapping the characters altogether and just making some new characters all round, which I kind of gather is going to be the case. They're just going to be making new characters and starting off from there, and just having some cameos here and there of other characters like Aiden Pierce and the main one from the last game, which in my honest opinion, I do not remember.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I don't know. Honestly, when it came to Watch Dogs, when a lot of people complained about the first game, I thoroughly enjoyed the first game. I thought the first game was great. I quite liked Aiden Pierce.
Yeah.
You thought it was shit?
No, the driving mechanics.
Oh, yeah, no, that was bad. The driving mechanics were awful. And they kept saying in the second game, oh, no, the driving mechanics are going to be great in the second game. The driving mechanics are going to be so awesome and stuff like that. And it just wasn't. It was just utter fucking trash.
Yeah.
I just... What improved driving mechanics? Can you show me where? Like, where are these improved driving mechanics? I don't see them.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that like people kept saying, oh, like the main character in the second game will be more memorable than Aiden Pierce. It's like everyone was like, oh, no one likes Aiden Pierce. No one remembers Aiden Pierce. I'm like, oh, I do. He's the only name in the franchise I actually have gravitated to and remember. That's it. Like, I don't remember anyone else in the franchise. In my honest opinion, if that affects me in that way, it hasn't done its job for me. Like, if I don't remember names, it hasn't done its job. It just hasn't done its job at all. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how things will go. And apparently, obviously, there will be a reveal at E3, so I guess we'll get to see a gameplay trailer and see how they'll go with this different setting. Especially with more modern day London. So, but yes, this would be very, very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
All right. Next thing we could talk about is apparently Divinity Original Sin Studio apparently is teasing a Baldur's Gate 3. For anybody that's a big Baldur's Gate fan, I've actually personally never have played Baldur's Gate, and people keep telling me why haven't you played it? You should play it. It's fucking amazing. And I just respond with
design, and everyone talked about Baldur's Gate, and I'm like, Baldur's what?
Yeah.
Even after all the lectures of it talking about, I still didn't have the urge to go and download it. So
yeah. Well, I'll read a bit of the article anyway to find out what's going on with it. Larian Studios, the developer behind Divinity Original Sin and Original Sin 2, has dropped what appears to be a teaser for a new Baldur's Gate. The official site has updated with a 3 logo. Though the stylized lettering isn't quite unique enough to necessarily identify it as belonging to Baldur's Gate, as some savvy Twitter users have pointed out, though the metadata refers to an image as Baldur's Gate logo 3 retouched. It's possible this wasn't meant to be seen and is something of an inside joke, but it could also mean the studio is bringing Baldur's Gate back. The timing of this tease could suggest the studio is preparing a reveal at E3. Perfect company to do it. I'm not quite sure they were the same company that did Baldur's Gate originally. But like seeing what they've done recently with Divinity Original Sin and Original Sin 2, which
I got a phone call. Give me a sec.
Sorry. That's all good, man. When it comes to what they did with Divinity Original Sin and Original Sin 2, they did a marvelous, amazing job with those games, especially when it comes to real-time strategy sort of games. I very much recommend playing those games. Like for one very, very vivid memory I have from the first game was playing with a mate of mine. And we got into a dungeon, and like I have a fucking thing about spiders, like big spiders in video games. They scare the absolute fuck out of me. They just do. Scare the shit out of me. So like when we came into the room, it just jumps out of fucking nowhere. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! I'm like, it was huge, and it was a boss fight. I'm like, Jesus Christ! But honestly, like I do highly recommend anybody that hasn't played the games play them. They're amazing. And they're very long, though. They're very long games, but they're excellent. But I do see them doing very well with the franchise. I do see that like Baldur's Gate is their sort of style of gameplay and their sort of style of video game that they do. So I think it'll do very, very well. But again, we'll see at E3 next week. I think at the moment things have been very quiet because E3's just like pretty much literally around the corner. And I think a lot of people are just sitting there holding back a lot of things, and a lot of things are just more teasers or hints or leaks or stuff like that at the moment, because it's just, everything's just, they want everything to be dropped at E3.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how E3 will also go this year. Another thing that was talked about this week, which we're going back to Todd Howard again. Apparently, according to Todd Howard, Sony and Microsoft aren't screwing around about the new next-gen consoles. Apparently, they want to sort of hit the ground running when it comes out. So, how much I trust that opinion or not is, well, varied.
You want to trust Todd Howard?
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, when it comes to, like, experiences with every new console and next-gen console that comes out, they're always not. They've always come out with problems. They always come out with some sort of issue. And then they just iron them out with slim consoles later on down the track, or, better versions of the console later on down the track, like they've done with the current gen consoles right now, and the last gen consoles as well. So, obviously, I'm sort of keen on finding out what the next consoles are going to be like and what the next consoles are going to be. I'm also keen to see what games are also going to be announced, like to come out with the console. As long as the games, like the initial launch titles for those games, aren't going to be absolute trash, I don't care. It seems like every time like a new console comes out, it's always very known and very common that the fact that the launch titles are always either only subpar or they're only bleh.
Yeah.
Only bleh. Very, very, very blasé and very minimalist. But it'd be good to see where they go and how they'll how things will pan out. But honestly, I'm gonna take that with a very, very small pinch of fucking salt. I don't believe a single word that comes out of his mouth these days. All right. Well, now, because there's not much to really talk about till next week, and I think we're sort of already coming to closer to the end of the podcast this week, because again, it's very short. There hasn't really been much talked about this week. I know I even did another deep dive before we even started this, an hour before we started, and it's just there's fucking nothing. But one thing we can always predict and talk about before we go is the E3, what's going to be happening with us next week. Only
What is happening with us?
Sorry?
So what is happening with us? What are we doing for E3?
Right. So we are going to be doing live reactions of the conferences. We are going to be watching the conferences live. We'll probably start the stream maybe about 10 minutes before the conference is going to start. 10, 15 minutes. We'll do a bit of speculation of what Xbox Microsoft or whatever is going to be talking about and maybe discussing about at their conference. And we'll just hopefully and then obviously we'll react to the conference. At the end of the conference, we'll have a sit down and have a quick recap on everything that's been going on that we just saw, what was announced, how we feel about it. And then we'll shut down the stream for a short period of time till the next conference starts up. So at the moment, Microsoft will be its own separate reaction. Bethesda and Devolver Digital will be both together, seeing as though that the conferences will probably be back to back. Ubisoft and Square Enix will definitely be separate. Right, so we are not doing Nintendo because it'll be at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. So sorry for anybody that wants us to react to Nintendo.
Nintendo tends to DMCA people on Twitch and YouTube anyway.
Well, yeah, that's it too. So there's probably not even any point us rewatching it because we don't want to risk that either. So as a whole, the conferences we'll be doing will be Microsoft, Bethesda, Devolver Digital, Ubisoft, and Square Enix. The times for that will be Microsoft will be at 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, so that's mine and Vesp's time. And that'll be on Monday, right? It'll be June 10th for us, but for everyone else it'll be June 9th. So Monday, so it'll be technically for us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for us. Everywhere else will be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But for the Popping Pulse podcast, it'll only be Monday and Tuesday. And we'll also still have our regular Popping Pulse podcast on Thursday. And that's going to be probably an extended podcast where we will go over everything that's been announced, everything that's been talked about. We'll also bring up some of the stuff that Nintendo announced and brought up, seeing as they will miss that conference. So we'll talk about that on Thursday. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. So technically, so expect our streams to start. Let's just say, Microsoft it starts at 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We'll probably start at 5:40 or 5:45.
AM.
Yes, AM.
Oh wow, okay.
yeah, that's what I meant. E3 is going to be a big fucking week, even though it's only 2 days. For us, anyway. Just think of it this way, it's only 2 days where we have to wake up early. 2. Just 2.
I have to wake up at 5:30 every morning, so it's not really an issue. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay, well, that's good then. So it works for you, just for me, I have to wake up early.
You remember? I have to get up and get a bus at 7 in the morning.
Well, that was fun. Sorry for that, boy, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking the slob of Nico of War has come through the microphone. Yeah, so that'll be the case. So anything you're expecting to be shown off and talked about at E3 this year.
Yeah, hopefully they announce a Resident Evil 3 remake or a Code Veronica remake.
Yes, I would like them to also. The thing is, if that's going to be announced, it will probably be announced at the Microsoft conference.
Why? They're normally a Sony thing.
Yeah, but the thing is with Sony is that they're doing their state of play bullshit, so we won't know anything till fucking till it comes out, really. So yeah, that's gonna be fucking interesting. One thing I'm looking forward to is probably more Halo. More Halo footage, which I kind of gather we're going to be getting anyway at the Microsoft conference. We'll probably get some more stuff on the Division 2 at Ubisoft. Maybe a look at the DLCs.
Probably an advertisement for Division 3.
It's a bit early for that. Still a
Ubisoft,
bit
they make a fucking Assassin's Creed or a Far Cry every year.
Well, speaking about that, I have a funny feeling we're probably going to get a Far Cry, maybe a Far Cry reveal this year. I have a funny feeling that we're going to get one.
I get an Assassin's Creed because I've been in Assassin's Creed last year. Was it?
Assassin's Creed, no. I don't think we'll get another Assassin's Creed for a little while. Not for another year. We probably might get an announcement for a new Assassin's Creed maybe next year or the year after. Square Enix, I'm not too sure. They might show off some DLC maybe for Kingdom Hearts 3 if they're doing any DLC for that.
Has that game actually come out yet?
Yeah. It's been out for a while now. Not a long while, but it's been out for a little while. Apparently it's excellent. I need to pick it up and I need to play it because I haven't played it yet. Devolver Digital we're gonna do because it's a fun ride. Devolver Digital's conferences, they're a fun ride. I highly recommend Vest before you go into watching Devolver Digital's conference this week.
Fucked up on any drug I can get my hands on.
Pretty much. If you haven't watched Devolver Digital's conferences before, you should watch last year's. There should be a recording somewhere of last year's. Just so you know what you're going to be bracing yourself for.
I saw one where she looked like Carrie at the end of it.
Yeah, it's, you have to be on an acid trip to really understand that. The conferences. It's like they're all high on acid. That's just what it is. Bethesda, I want more stuff to do with Doom. For the love of fucking God, I want more Doom. I also want a proper release date for fucking Doom. What else? Starfield, I want more stuff on Starfield. Bethesda, what else they're probably going to do? They might show off some stuff maybe for Evil Within. I highly doubt they're going to show anything off of Elder Scrolls because it's a little too early. They haven't really started a lot of the groundwork for the new Elder Scrolls yet. So again, Elder Scrolls, I'm not expecting too much. What else? I guess I'm also wanting to see probably a lot more of Call of Duty. And I don't know about EA, because apparently EA's conference is supposed to be Saturday, but I think we might skip that. Might go through and maybe talk about all the stuff to do with the EA conference maybe on Thursday next week. I was planning on probably doing something with EA, but to be brutally honest with you, anything that's going to be announced at EA or shown off at EA, we know it's going to be fucking trash when it comes out anyway, so it doesn't matter. Really honest with you, it's EA. No one really gives a
too.
Huh?
Anthem too.
I told everyone not to buy it, but everyone bought it.
Yeah.
All my mates, I said, like, oh, we're going to buy it. I said, no, why? I said, it's going to be trash. I said, I tell you now, it's going to be trash. Look at all those trailers. You really telling me that you're going to be able to do all of that, the trailers? Yeah, man, yeah, Anthem's going to be great. Anthem's going to be excellent. It's going to kill fucking Division 2. Yeah, right. Who's laughing now? Well, it's not fucking doing very well for him. It's just not.
Yep.
But yeah, so that will be us for the next week. So stay tuned. So everyone that wants to come and watch our podcast for next week, please do. Also, too, next Thursday, I have finally got this fucking YouTube activation thing for the Twitch for YouTube streaming done now. So all I have to do is try and set it up to make sure I can do a dual stream for next Thursday's podcast. So hopefully next Thursday's podcast will definitely, hopefully be a dual stream on Twitch and on YouTube. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, the YouTube channel should be linked down below. If it's not linked down below, I will find out. It should be linked down below. Yes, it is linked down below. So if anybody wants to go and subscribe to that, you're more than welcome to. That's where we will put all of our recorded VODs and stuff on there, and that's where they'll stay. But hopefully when we start streaming next week, they'll all just stay on YouTube. So if you want to watch an old live stream, it's on there.
Yep.
But anyway, so yeah, so I thought, well, it'd be good to stream on both platforms, because at least then people are able to come in and they're able to just broaden the audience a bit, I suppose. But and spread them out a little bit, I suppose, as well. Another thing to as well, just to wouldn't be another thing. So just to re-clarify, find your time of the conferences, right? Whatever it is there. Cut back about 10, 15 minutes, right? And then that's when that's when our stream will go up, and we'll obviously do a reaction. We'll obviously talk a little bit about it after the conference is finished, and that'll be the same for Bethesda and Devolver Digital. Devolver Digital, I think, would be all of us turning around going, "What the fuck did we just watch?" like was my reaction last fucking year with Devolver Digital's, but I reckon it's going to be pretty decent. And hello, Phil Joe. You sweetheart, you. But yes, all right. I think that will be it from us this week for this week's podcast. But next week, me and Vesp are going to be busy.
Yes, we're gonna make a baby.
Yep.
Live on stream.
Yeah, that's right, mate. We're going to make a baby.
We're gonna go find a fucking small skeleton from the science store, and we're gonna get some fucking meat, and we're gonna stitch it together like one of those fucking weird teddy bears. Go to the morgue, get a couple of organs, and shove it in there. And we'll make it a baby.
Just get some pig guts and throw it in. That'll do.
Yeah, we'll call it the muggle.
We'll call it the muggle. That's it.
And you can sit there and go, "Kill me,
kill me, just kill me." Anyway, another thing too, just to before we go, sorry about how late those re-uploads was on YouTube for the last couple of podcasts. I did, but they are now uploaded on YouTube. I uploaded them a couple of days ago, so you should be able to watch the last 2 weeks, or rewatch the last 2 weeks if you like on there.
Gosh, sneaker.
Huh?
I said, "Gosh, anyone would think."
Well, it'll be good when the whole YouTube, dual stream will start happening, because then I don't have to worry about re-uploading them. It'll just archive straight on YouTube, and then people can just watch on YouTube. Unlike Twitch, which they go away after 3 months, which kind of sucks absolute dick. But that's just how Twitch like to do their things, I suppose. But
That's
anyway,
more dick than a female streamer.
Funny. Does that make you the female streamer?
I wish.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night, and we'll catch you guys all for E3 and next week's podcast. So everyone have a nice, good, interesting week, And I hope you guys all will come and join us next week when it comes to us reacting to what we find out and what we see. All right. How about you, everyone? Have a good one.
Yep. See you guys.